Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a really great day. Last time on the channel I showed you how to make these really cute kitty cat Valentine's Day treat clips using a clothespin. And today on the channel I'm going to show you how to make these really fun puppy dog Valentine's Day cards so that you can slide a little candy into. As I mentioned before, I have two little girls and one is obsessed with dogs and one is obsessed with cats. So this year I found myself making two different types of Valentine's Day cards for their classes. Also, before I start the project, I just want to mention that this project is 100% not my idea. It's something I found on Pinterest on a site called May Makes It or May Made It. It's one of those two, and this is something that she did, and I just thought it was really cute and easy to do. I did modify it a little bit in the method and the face. I'll explain later, but anyways, so yeah. So you start with a 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. Just have brown here because they're puppies, and you cut it into quarters. So cut it in half, cut it in half again, and you get a little quarter sheet. And then you fold the quarter sheet in half to get the fold. And this is the part where I kind of changed it up a little bit. So in the original craft, you make a mark on the 4 1/4 side. You make a mark at 2 1/8, and then you align this mark and this fold corner into your cutting line on your trimmer. So I'll show you what that is. Let me see if I can kind of move this down a little bit more so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so if you have a paper trimmer like this, you know that there is a cutting line right here. This is where the blade cuts. So in the original craft, you align the center mark and the corner of the fold line in the cut line. So you just put, oh yeah, you can see it that way. So you put the mark and the corner of the fold line so that both points align with your cutting surface. So here's the corner of my fold, and here is the 2 1/8 mark, and then you cut down here so that it makes a diagonal line for the face. Like that. So then you make like a diagonal, and then you do the same for the other side. So you align the 2 1/8 mark and the corner of the fold, and you cut it. Then you get like this little house shape, just like that. Now, I am not very good at math and measuring, and I kind of knew that I probably would mess up if I had to do that for all the Valentines. I mean, I only have to make 15, but I didn't think I would be able to like measure and cut without wasting a bunch of paper. And actually on one of them I didn't align it correctly, so you can see like this side is like way longer than the other side because I didn't align the points correctly. So I just made a stencil. After I did the initial first one, I just made a stencil, and I just decided I'm just gonna trace it. I could still get 4 out of one sheet because you use the quarter pieces. So I'll just show you once again the way she did it, so that at least if you want to make this craft, you can do it. So just take a quarter sheet of paper, like that, fold it in half, on the 4 1/4 side, mark halfway at 2 1/8, and then align the halfway mark and the corner of your fold in the cut line and cut it into a diagonal line. Or you could just do the stencil thing. Okay, so here's the shape that you start with. that's going to be the face. And for the ears, you just take, I just used the oval punch that I have here. And I just, you know, punch out 2 little for the ears. And the ears would be really cute in like a patterned paper, maybe a polka dot or something. Be cute to take the ears, and then to achieve the curled look, you just curl it over something. I'm using a chubby Sharpie, but you can use a glue stick, or if your kids play with Play-Doh, you can use you know, the Play-Doh rollers. That would work. One benefit of using the chubby marker, I realize, is because it's not a perfect cylinder and it has flat sides, it kind of scores it a little bit as you spin it, so that kind of helps to set the shape. And after you roll it, just pinch it down a little bit, you know, roll it between your fingers just to set the shape. I mean, it will unfurl a little bit as, you know, time goes on, just as paper does, but don't fold it or squish it, but just gently kind of roll it into a cylinder shape. Like that. There you go. So for the nose, I'm just going to use, you know, little heart stickers. You know, now it's Valentine's Day, so you can find heart stickers everywhere. This one I found at Michael's. Always remember to use your coupons. And when I'm doing a face, I try to always do either draw the nose first, or if I'm sticking on a nose, I always do the nose first, because the nose is kind of the center of the face and it helps to guide where you're going to put, you know, the other features. So just put the nose sticker on here, and I always try to align the point of the heart with the point of the flaps, just so kind of like center. And then for the face, I just drew the face on the original craft. She had like a little stamp that she just stamped the face with, and she didn't use the heart sticker either. The stamp included a little heart, and then she just colored it in, but I thought it'd be kind of cuter with the puffy heart sticker, so that's what I'm using. So I'm just going to draw a face like this. When I draw faces on cards or any cardstock, I usually use this Uniball liquid ink pen. It has a really fine tip, so it's really nice to make really fine details, but sometimes the ink does smear. If you see here, this was one that I made, but I don't know if you can really tell, but you can kind of see it smeared here, like this. I don't know why it does that. So then, I also sometimes use the ultrafine Sharpie, but the ultrafine Sharpie kind of has a thicker line, and sometimes the ink kind of bleeds out, so just use your judgment. Okay, so for the face, we're just going to draw 2 little eyes like this. And maybe I'll add eyelashes on this one. Little girl pop. Like that. And then I'm going to draw a straight line down for part of the mouth. And then I'm going to do a happy face. And then on each side of the happy face, I'm going to do little cheek marks. Chubby cheek marks. Like that. And then in the middle right here, I'm going to do like a little split. I'm just going to draw basically a triangle. I'm just going to do a little diagonal line down from each side. Like that. And then I'm going to fill it in. You're not going to see this part that much, but you will see like a tippy top corner, so that. And then in animals, I always think it's more realistic to add the little whisker pores, or the little points where the whiskers come out. I know dogs don't have whiskers, but they kind of do have little like facial hairs. So see here, those little points. That's going to be your face. But really, you could do any face you want. I mean, you don't have to always do exactly what the original craft has. So I'm going to take my ears, and I'm just going to use my trusty glue dots. I love glue dots, and I always stock up on them every time. Every time I went to Michael's, I used to buy 1 box of glue dots just just to have, because you never know when you need them. I use them for everything, even for like putting home decorations like on walls. Sometimes I use glue dots. So you're just gonna put one glue dot on each side and then put it on like this. It's not focusing, there we go. And then press it down a little bit. And like I said, this craft would be really cute if you use like pattern paper, or maybe even pink paper, like a pink poodle, but my daughter actually does not like pink. She says, I don't like light pink. And so, oh, you see here, like it already, the ink smudged because I used the Uniball pen. But that's okay, that part will be covered by the bones, so it's not a big deal. And then attach the tag. I just did the same thing that I did last time with the kitty cat valentines. I just printed out bones and I put little phrases like I dig you, I rough you on there. I just printed it out on a piece of paper. And so I'm just gonna bubble cut it. Use I rough you. And whenever I make valentines or anything that my kids are gonna take to school, I try really hard to just stick or glue every piece down really well, and that's why the glue dots are so handy, because they're actually pretty strong. It has really good adhesion, because even though they're just gonna like, pass them out, for some reason like pieces fall off, or like they get caught on other things and then they rips off because it's paper or whatever. So I find that using the glue dots, really helps to make sure that doesn't happen to your hard work. So I'm just using the mini dots this time. And glue dots, as you know, come in many different sizes. The standard is just this 1/2 inch size, which is really versatile and good for everything. But when you need a smaller surface, you can use the mini 3 1/16 size. They also have removable dots, I guess for like photos or something, and then I even have glue lines, which actually come in handy if you want to glue ribbon, like skinny ribbon, onto maybe a card border or something. The glue lines really help because they're lines. And so, oh, I've missed a step. So actually what you're going to do to stick the flap down is you just take a mini glue dot and you just put it on the very tippy corner of your card right here. And then you could just press it down flat, because you could pucker the card to put the candy in, but I just press it up a little bit. If you see here, I pressed it up a little bit just for extra security, in case I have like an extra chubby piece of candy or something. And then take the bone. I also put 2 little glue dots on each little corner, and then just center it and put it on, covering the ink smear like that. So cute. Okay, and the last thing, this is totally optional, but I just rounded the corners off. For some reason, I guess I feel like rounder things are cuter, but I mean, no one's gonna notice if you rounded them or not rounded them, honestly, but I notice. And there you have it, just like that. And then you just slide your little candy or chocolate. Airheads would be cute in this, those little mini airheads that you get, or even a long piece of candy would be cute too. And there you go. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is, when I first saw this craft, I was like, oh, why can't I just use an envelope? Because basically, this is an envelope shape, right? But I realized that if you want to use an envelope, you need to find those envelopes where the point goes all the way down, because most envelopes, the points are not long enough to actually hold the candy. So using an envelope would be an excellent idea, a total time saver, because all you would have to do is do the ears and the face. But I'm not sure if they make small envelopes like this with the flaps that go all the way down. I know they do make envelopes like that, but I'm not sure if they make this size. But maybe if it doesn't matter, if you do want to make a bigger Valentine, and envelopes are not the same thickness as cardstock, so it could be a little flimsy, but if you guys happen to find thicker envelopes with the flaps all the way down, it'll save you a ton of time. So, alright, so here are the little ones that we made. I love you, paws and kisses. I hope you guys have a fun time making these or any of the other DIYs on my channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye!